Cheryl. So I'm going to ask both of them a few questions. They're going to answer honestly and as Kevin puts the parameters without cussing. So I don't think there'll be any reason to disagree. So whoever sits closer has to go first. So the first question for them this morning is, how do you think people know right from wrong? You want to start?
I think that generally people do know right from wrong. I think that we know right from wrong more when we're closer to God, because just from personal experience, when I've lived a life where, in the past, maybe in the present too, where I'm not close to Him, where I'm not really, He's not really in my life every day, every moment, I can justify things that I know are not quite right and do them anyway. But when your heart is to carry out His will, to be pleasing, your life be pleasing to Him, it's crystal clear what's right and wrong for me in my instance.
For me, when I think about how do you know right and wrong, God created us. And as long as we know that He created us with tools like your conscience, your intuition, and these are things that He gave us to guide us through life. And usually when you're doing wrong, your conscience won't let you live it down, or your intuition is telling you that you know it's wrong. Some people choose to do wrong anyway. However, we were built as humans with those tools to help us get through life, and God created us. So those are some of the things that, will help us decide what's right and wrong. And again, it's in God's life.
Thank you. And your second question is, why is it that a person can know right from wrong, yet find it hard to do what is right?
Well, I think we all have the nature to want to take the easy way out. That's why we've got a lot of get quick rich schemes and lose 50 pounds in 3 hours. And we know we want to believe in the unbelievable. But I think going back to the original thing, what I say for myself is when I am close to God and I have that joy, that I want to please Him. There's nothing that's phenomenal. It's you're willing to put the time into it because everything has consequences, and the consequences are wonderful when you're doing God's will.
I would say that temptation, just as hard as God is working to get us to follow His light in Him, Satan is working to get us to follow temptation with things that are not right for us. And like she said, when you're closer to God, it becomes a little easier to deal with temptation versus when you're not close to God. So.
And the third question is, have you ever been in a situation where someone rejected your good advice or even outright defied you? And if so, how did you react to that situation?
I think people do that all the time. And they'll come to and ask you for advice. And I remember there was a sermon that Pastor Kevin did, and one of the things that stood out in that sermon was, not everybody wants to know what you have to say. I remember him saying that. Not everybody wants to know what your advice is. And so I try to remember that now. And it's hard because for me, I'm a natural person to want to heal and to help and to nurture and to fix. And sometimes that's hard to hold back the advice, but sometimes when you do and let people kind of figure out on their own and realize that I wanted to tell you so, it becomes difficult. But yeah, there's been many times, especially because of my field of work and my past field of work, of nurturing and helping youth. A lot of times their minds are made up, and you just have to continue to pray for people as well as yourself.
So then if they don't listen to you, your reaction to them is to just pray for them, maybe?
Yeah, just pray for them and the people around you, just to hope that, they find their way, and then be open, you know, when they are ready to come talk, be open to providing the information or the support.
I'm very similar to April. My nature is to give advice. Not that I think I know everything, but it's just I want to help. And I think if it's a child, it's one thing, because I have to not have that. I'm reading the words right now. Define. If you have that in your heart that the person actually defied you, then you feel betrayed. So you have to have a correct mindset as far as how do I react in that situation. Sometimes you get hurt because you really care for that person. You're not going to get advice if you don't care for the person. You feel hurt because they're going to have maybe pain in their life. But I actually agree with everything April. we have the same life. So.
Oh, that's great. Thank you guys so much for sharing.
That reaches